Oh my goodness. This pay-per-view is going to go down, no doubtably, as one of the best pay-per-views that WWE's ever produced. I told you so, folks. IWN, right again. But I got to give a shout out to my only favorite podcaster in the IWC, JD, for also being right about the pay-per-view. It wasn't just me that was right about the things on the pay-per-view. JD himself was right as well. There's not often to find people in the wrestling community that are right about things that occur on the pay-per-views and on shows. But they did a solid job with this pay-per-view. It's just the only thing that didn't really sit well that much was that women's match between Shayna Baszler and Liv Morgan, which I thought Shayna Baszler did most of the work in the match, in my honest opinion. We got Dominique turning heel on Rey Mysterio and Edge. Solo Sikoa made his WWE main roster debut. Also, Gunther versus Sheamus killed it. They absolutely killed it in the ring, man. I love the fucking exchange of chops they was giving to each other. Sheamus and Gunther were going back and forth in the ring. It was absolutely brilliant, man. Control won over Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa. And there was no Ronda Rousey on the WWE Clash of the Castles pay-per-view. No Ronda Rousey. Thank God. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody even gives a shit about Ronda Rousey at this point. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just throwing it out there. Speaking truth like it is, man. Guys, we're going to go over everything that went down on the WWE Clash of the Castles right here on the IWN YouTube channel. But before I do that, if you guys are new to the channel, man, if you are new around here, you need to hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up right now. I want 14 likes on the chat, minimum. 14. Let's get 14 likes on this review, because I'm about to deliver to you guys one of the best reviews on the channel right now. Also, follow me on Instagram, add me on Facebook. You can add me on Snapchat. I share some of my content, my YouTube content on Snapchat as well. I wish I could share it on Twitter, but my Twitter accounts are suspended due to arguing with the WWE stains in the community. You know, the same WWE geeks in the community that shit on AEW and Tony Khan. Well, let's be honest. They may be right about some things. AEW's not doing well right now. All these backstage heats and fights. If you guys check out my WWE Sunday night news live stream, you will hear and listen to exactly what I was talking about when I mean things are not going well in AEW. When I mean all these backstage heats, fights, and people not getting along. Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker still have backstage heat. Then it went from that to Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston. And then it went from that to CM Punk and Adam Page. Somebody in the chat said that CM Punk was accused of the same thing Thunder Rosa was accused of. I don't want to say I don't believe it, because half of this is true. And then there was news on Bobby Fish getting into it with Dash Harwood. Something nobody never expected to hear. All this stuff going on in AEW, it's crazy. Meanwhile, WWE's been on the roll. They've been hot, like JD says. They've been absolutely hot. No question about it. But anyways, folks, we're going to go ahead and get to the review, man. because I know you guys ready to hear my thoughts on all these matches. First of all, let me know your thoughts on WWE Clash of the Castles in the live chat. Do you think it was one of the best pay-per-views? Do you think it delivered? Or do you think it miserably failed? I don't think it miserably failed. If you think it miserably failed, man, something's got to be wrong with your brain. You got to be mentally ill at that point if you think Clash of the Castles mentally failed. This show was fun. This pay-per-view was fucking great, man. It was great for what it was. It wasn't the greatest, but it was the best pay-per-view of all time. Believe it or not. And those of you that were in the live with me for my Clash of the Castles watch along, man, we had a great time. There was only a few people in it. I'm surprised Hassan and Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 weren't on there. Maybe they had some plans for the weekend. Maybe they had stuff to do. I don't know. They're one of my moderators. They're one of the three of my moderators anyway. Actually, two of the three. Oh my goodness, this pizza is good, man. This pizza is good. I'm sorry I'm eating in front of y'all like this, but this pizza is good. Seriously, let's get to the review, because I know you guys ready to hear my thoughts on Control versus Bliss, Asuka, and Belair, and all the other matches that were booked for Clash of the Castles. So, the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss kicked off the main show when they squared off with Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky in a 6-women tag team match. Before that, we had Madcap Moss and Street Profits versus Theory and Alpha Academy to kick off Clash of the Castles. This was basically a kickoff match that I had no interest in watching whatsoever. I didn't really give a shit about it. So the newly dubbed Damage Control earned a hard-fought victory in another action-packed contest. Now the babyfaces rolled early before Bayley and Io Sky isolated Asuka and cut her off from the rest of her team. I was going to say Bayley and her faction Control. So Belair predictably received the hot tag and exploded into the match late. But we had a Super B teamwork from the heels. Gave away to Sky, delivering her trademark moonsault. And Bayley stacking up the EST of WWE for the win. The outcome was not surprising as Triple H and WWE sought to continue building momentum for the top heel act in the Raw Women's division. Now, Bayley pinning Belair sets up her up. It basically sets her up for a title opportunity, something that was also predictable given the creative leading into the show. Something is in my teeth. I don't know what it is. But in this case, predictable is far from bad as the role model is a genuine star and the most logical option to challenge for the gold. Concerning she and Belair never had a suitable concussion to their rivalry a year ago, their rivalry is long overdue. This was a good match that got considerable time to unfold, and all 6 competitors had a chance to shine. This was the right call for an opener, given the exposure the time talent involved had received over the last 2 months on the red brand, and set the bar high for the rest of the pay-per-view. The heels entered the arena to new theme music and Damage Control name. Bayley repeatedly heeled it up, attempting to stop the audience from singing to her. Michael Cole brought up Io Shirai's previous partnership with Asuka during their time in Japan, a big moment for those who remember Vince McMahon refusing to allow the commentary team to recognize wrestling history in any promotion outside of his own. So we got this Intercontinental Championship match between Sheamus and Gunther. Fans expecting a hard-hitting physical match between Intercontinental Champion Gunther and top contender Sheamus. Got everything they wanted in the next match while still being surprised at the intensity of the battle. Champion and challenger beat the life out of each other for nearly 20 minutes, testing each other's endurance, durability, and toughness. Gunther redeemed the chest of his opponent and dominated the action throughout the first half of the bout. Sheamus seized an opening and punished the champion with an onslaught of forearms to the chest. Now, all strikes, heavy hitting moves, and a couple near falls followed by before the Irishman attempt a Brogu kick. That's what they call it, Brogu kick, right? His back gave out through, and Gunther capitalized by delivering a powerbomb and finishing the Celtic Warrior off with a for the successful title defense. There are some loaded pro wrestling cards this weekend, but honestly, we'll have to be hard-pressed to find a match as good as this. And in my honest opinion, in the title, I stated that Sheamus versus Gunther was the best match on the pay-per-view just because of everything Sheamus and Gunther did in the ring. The crowd, just because the crowd was into it, the crowd was going nuts. This is not the first time Sheamus has been in Cardiff Wells. He's been in Cardiff Wells at least like 2-3 times. And you want to talk about dream matches? Some dream matches I want to see? I want to see Gunther versus Bobby Lashley in the Intercontinental Championship. That's at least one of the dream matches I want to see coming out of Gunther. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. That's another match I want to see. I want to see I even want to see Gunther versus Karrion Kross. If they could do a storyline with Gunther and Karrion Kross, all they have to do is turn Gunther babyface and keep the heel Karrion Kross character gimmick going. I'm talking about like after he loses the Intercontinental Championship and turns babyface. I think a Karrion Kross Gunther feud would fucking blow the roof off the place. That is a money-making match right there. Karrion Kross versus Gunther. Gunther versus Bray Wyatt's another money-making match. Keep Gunther as a babyface and have Bray Wyatt be a heel. The Fiend. Main match I want to see is Karrion Kross versus Bray Wyatt. Oh my goodness. You want to talk about two of the best character gimmicks in WWE going at it? Karrion Kross versus Bray Wyatt. That's a money-making match I want to see as well, man. Even AJ Styles versus Gunther. Gunther has so many guys in the WWE that he can face and defend his Intercontinental Championship against. We'll have to find out what Gunther's next feud is with. So, anyways, while others may be more dazzling or theoretical, this was a hard-hitting battle that felt more real than predetermined, with the combatants thriving whatever they had at each other in the name of victory. Gunther basically won. But the incredible show of respect shown to Sheamus by the fans in Cardiff was reflective of a guy whose contributions as in-ring performer over 13 years with WWE are finally starting to be appreciated by the audience. That's good to see, man. That's good. You love to see it. Really. You love to see it. Not saying it in a smart way. I'm being truthful. So, first thing, we got a video package. We got a video package recalled the classic Intercontinental Championship match between Bret Hart and the British Bulldog from SummerSlam 1992, before Samantha Irvin introduced the family of Davey Boy Smith and the Hitman himself. Lloyd Kaiser introduced Giovanni Vinci, reforming Imperium in a noteworthy occurrence before the bell rang. Kaiser and Vinci brawled with Butch and Rich Holland, while Sheamus and Gunther stared each other down in the pre-match segment. Gunther kicked Sheamus. Gunther kicked Sheamus square in the face, and a slow-mo replay shown the side of the Celtic Warrior's face collapsing under the force of his boot. Sheamus' face was painted with welts, scratches, and bruises, the result of the ring general's unforgetting strikes. The Irishman repaid Gunther for a barrage of chops by forearming the life out of champion's chest. Sheamus broke out the Celtic Cross for the first time in what felt like ages, a callback to his early days in WWE. Now, after this Intercontinental Championship match, we got the SmackDown Women's Championship match. We got Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler, a match that wasn't really all that good. I mean, I'd say it was a good David versus Goliath showdown, basically. But there will be some who criticize the idea of Baszler losing again, but given the fact that the seeds were planted by Ronda Rousey, that her friend used to be a killer, but had gotten soft. It plays into that narrative. And I guess it plays into the Shayna Baszler Ronda Rousey feud. There was a woman who had a victory in her hand. If she had just channeled that killer instinct. Instead, she allowed Morgan to hang around, and it cost her. As long as that is the direction the story is headed, the booking works. If not, Triple H and creative would have their work cut out for them in terms of rebuilding Baszler, basically. Triple H and creative were impressive with Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. You can imagine how impressive Triple H and creative is with Shayna Baszler. And you can imagine how even more impressive they're going to be with the Shayna Baszler Ronda Rousey feud. The match was a good David and Goliath showdown, like I said the first time. That put Morgan over as double tough and hopefully helps endear her to fans in a way that looking at SummerSlam did not. So Morgan tried to apply the Karafuda clutch on 2 occasions early, but Baszler easily escaped and reversed both times. The Queen of Spades targeted Morgan's left arm like a shark smelling blood, looking to exploit a part of the champion previously injured by Rousey. Morgan grabbed an armbar late in the match again, trying to work submissions against a woman nicknamed the Submission Magician. Baszler twisted, countered, and bent Morgan's injured arm in a way that was remnants of an old Queen of Spades fans grew to appreciate in NXT. Baszler countered a sunset flip powerbomb pinned into a Karafuda clutch in a smooth spot. So after that, we got Edge and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. Edge and Mysterio may have defeated the Judgment Day, but that victory proved secondary to the events that unfolded after the bell, despite the veterans overcoming interference from Rhea Ripley and pulling off the victory following a 619 and spear to Finn Balor. It was the stunning betrayal and long-awaited heel turn by Ray's son, Dominic, that stole the headlines. A low blow to Edge and a sneak attack on his father drew a chorus of boos from the fans and elected maniacal laughing from Balor and priests who believed they had turned, they turned them. Dominic left on his own with pledging allegiance to the Judgment Day. He basically turned heel on his own father and Edge. The second generation competitor badly needed to break free from his father and turn heel. So pretty much, if only to establish his own identity, just being Ray's son, quit a while ago. Now he has the potential to become rather than by his side. The contest was fine, but from a quality standpoint, it was no better or worse than something fans would see on Raw. Given the increase in quality on the show, that is no means a bad thing, though. Edge entered the arena in a lucha mask, showing solidarity with his partner. The Hall of Famer wrote out a 619 on Ballard that Corey Graves best described as closer to a 519. Edge speared Priest through the ropes and to the floor, drawing a huge pump. Ripley wiped Dominic out at ringside, but Ray whipped both her and his son out with a tope suicida moments later. So this was a good match. I'd absolutely give this a B+. I wouldn't say a B negative. Dominic turning heel was the best accent. Was one of the best accents on the show. I wonder what Edge and the Rey Mysterio has to say about Dominic Mysterio's heel turn. I'm going to read the Monday Night Raw results when I come home from work Monday, Labor Day. So I don't want to know what they got to say. I mean, Dominic Mysterio pretty much broke Rey Mysterio's heart. He broke Edge's heart too by kicking Edge in the fucking nuts. He kicked Edge in the nutsack. You gotta imagine how that made Edge feel after that. That made him feel hurt. And it probably made him feel more than likely guilty at the same time. But anyways, we have Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. This was another one of the best matches on the card. Seth Rollins intensified his rivalry with Matt Riddle on Monday's Raw, infuriating the original bro by bringing up his family situation. Saturday, they wasted no time uploading on each other, with Riddle getting the best of the Visionary early before a tope suicida into the announce table and a powerbomb into the guardrail turned the tide in the heel's favor. As the match progressed, the combatants threw each other, or threw everything at each other, even diving into each other's arsenals in an attempt to put the other away. Rollins, a master manipulator, insulted Riddle's family again when the babyface lost his cool and grabbed a chair. The Visionary took advantage of the distraction and delivered a stomp. Another from the second rope earned him the win. The chemistry between the combatants is off the charts. Their dislike for one another beyond is well documented when it comes to putting in work between the ropes. They mesh extremely well. The transitions, counters, and reversals were great. They were really great. They were brilliant. They were absolutely spot on fantastic. Riddle barely rolling his shoulder off the mat during near falls was a nice touch. Rollins winning was the right call. His star burns brighter than Riddle's. Hell, his fucking theme music rules. His theme music is fucking dope, man. At first, when Seth Rollins first had this theme music, this new theme music he had, the Visionary theme music, I didn't like it. But now, I'm starting to get into it. I like it, man. I just like the way the theme music. I just like the way he does that. Oh, and I like that. Burn it down, burn it. You know what I'm talking about. But as Triple H continues to unfold his creative plans for the flagship show, he will rely on someone like Rollins to enhance certain program. So Rollins and Riddle recovered nicely from an ugly near butch on a top rope spot. You want to talk about one of the best top moments in Clash of the Castles pay-per-view. The original Bro countered his rival's superplex into a Falcon Arrow spot by delivering a picture-perfect Fisherman Buster. Riddle countered a rolling elbow to an exploder suplex pretty much, and then added a floating bro to the floor. So Riddle tried for another floating bro. Rollins got the knees up. The bro recovered and caught the Visionary with a triangle choke. Rollins attempted to use his own bro Derek against him, but Riddle narrowly kicked out at 2. So this is what Rollins said. He said, "You're a goddamn loser. You hear me?" Rollins antagonized his opponent with insults toward him, his wife, and his kids. And then he added a draping DDT, Randy Orton's move. So not only he used Matt Riddle's move against Riddle, he also used Randy Orton's finishing signature move against Matt Riddle. That was some good fucking shit right there. That was some good stuff. I'm looking forward to see what's next for Riddle and Seth Rollins going into Monday Night Raw. Hell, for all I know, I think this feud should continue to WrestleMania. That's how good this feud is, man. Anyways. Now, you want to talk about best match? You want to talk about main event time? Let's talk about the Universal Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre elected an enormous pop for his entrance into the Principality Stadium, which was preceded by a video set to Broken Dreams, a song fans have anticipated since his return to WWE. Reigns, the defending champion, entered the arena on his own. There was no Paul Heyman, no champion Jey Uso. There was certainly the main roster debut of Solo Sikoa. Even Sami Zayn was nowhere to be seen as Tribal Chief made the long walk to the ring without pyro due to the stadium setup. The ensuing contest was a great. I think that was one of the greatest main events that we've never gotten in a long time. And a legit match of the year candidate. Shoot, I think Sheamus versus Gunther is the match of the year candidate. Never mind Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Holy fucking shit. You want to talk about match of the year? Gunther versus Sheamus. Like Rollins and Riddle. Reigns and McIntyre have wild and in-ring chemistry developed from work house shows and TV dark matches against each other for the better part of the year. They took everything they had worked through and developed over that time and executed it to perfection with a red-hot Cardiff crowd. To boot, Reigns is a master of the near fall, and his timing, that is impeccable. He knows exactly when to throw his shoulder off the mat to maximize the drama. And the result is often a contest that has fans completely invested. We saw it a couple of times on Saturday. But it was the Super B timing of his cousin that set up the finish. Solo Sikoa debuted in a closing moment, pulling the referee out of the ring and preventing a 3 count following one last Claymore from McIntyre. He hung the Scottish Warrior up on the rope, setting up a spear by the champ that would bring about the conclusion of the contest. There was an understandable disappointment on the part of the fans following McIntyre's loss, but other than his home field advantage, he never felt like the guy to dethrone Reigns to begin with. I'm sorry. That's just the truth, folks. I'm sorry to the UK geeks in the community, but it's the truth. The Scot is over with fans and one of the hardest working guys in the company. No question about it. He's definitely that. Now, that will not change, and this was Reigns' match to win. Because properly things forward with the addition of Sikoa to the bloodline is a bigger development than McIntyre winning the title. We all know that. Everybody, every single person in this live chat knows that. Even I know that. So the call was controversial and likely annoyed some fans off who expected McIntyre to leave the United Kingdom with his title. But for the long-term future of the company's creative plans, this was the right call. Absolutely the right call. Now, I got a lot to say when it comes to top moments. So the Broken Dreams video was fantastic and told the entire story of McIntyre's career in 2 minutes. Now, the crowd's love of the Scot was all inspiring, basically. So the pup was defending, and the chance for him after the entrances and early on lost few disciples. Karrion Kross and Scarlett provided a distraction at ringside that allowed Roman Reigns to slow the onslaught of his opponent and turn the tide. The Tribal Chief talked trash to the top contender, allowing McIntyre to attempt a comeback with a few chops, but it was short-lived. Reigns grabbed a mic and demanded Cardiff acknowledge him, only to catch a nasty headbutt from McIntyre. I knew! That's what I was hearing. I thought I heard an echo in the radio. I knew I was hearing Roman Reigns saying something. So Roman Reigns actually grabbed a mic and said, Cardiff, acknowledge me. At first, I didn't understand it. I'm like, did Roman Reigns get a mic or what? So now I'm starting to realize that, yes, Roman Reigns did grab a mic and say, acknowledge me. I see you guys in the chat. Don't worry. This is a review. Don't forget. You guys should be communicating with each other in the live chat while the review is going. So the champ experienced doubt. This review is almost over anyway. And frustration with his factual expressions reflecting someone questioning what he needed to do to put away his opponent. McIntyre speared Reigns through the barricade using one of the champ's favorite spots against him. He recovered and delivered his own spear back in the ring for a dramatic 2 count. The right hand from Fury to Theory that denied him a Money in the Bank cash-in was a great spot. It was perfectly executed and sold. Now, guys, I think I do have some news coming out of WWE Clash at the Castles. I may have some news, I may not. I don't know. But I'm actually checking right now to see. Checking with my only sources I have in the community. Okay, so we do have a little bit of news coming out of WWE Clash at the Castles. I'm going to go over it with you guys because I feel like today's the day to do it. Also, let me remind you guys that the Dragon Ball, well, not Dragon Ball, but if you know what I mean. But let me remind you guys that the 400 subscribers Dragon Ball Super Brawling movie celebration live stream watch along will be live at 10 o'clock p.m. So I expect everybody to be there. It's going to be a great night. I'm actually going to show you guys the movie. So before we get on out of here and end this, well, it's the end of the review right now, but before we get out of here, I just want to give you guys some news coming out of WWE Clash of the Castles. I kind of did and didn't know that there was some news. I kind of did. So, Liv Morgan actually admitted that she's never seen SummerSlam 1972. Honey, that's probably because you wasn't born. That's probably why. So, Liv Morgan basically consistently lived up to the title of SmackDown Women's Champion, even though fans found her SummerSlam match against Ronda Rousey a bit luster. She redeemed herself at the Clash at the Castles pay-per-view in Cardiff during the SmackDown Women's title match. Shayna Baszler tried to narrow down attacks on Morgan's left arm, her injured left arm. Morgan turned it around and delivered a running powerbomb from the second rope. She then scored a clean victory in the match, received a lot of praise from fans. The SmackDown Women's Championship took part in the press conference after Clash at the Castle. Her dress in the event was a tribute to WWE Hall of Famer Sherry Martel, which is notable and amazing to hear. Does that name sound familiar to anybody in the live chat? I've never heard that name before. I'm just now hearing it. Seasonal Sherry rocked the white dress during her appearance in SummerSlam 1992, while Morgan gave her a tribute. It appears she's never seen the event. She admitted to this during the event. She says, and I quote, press at the conference reacted to this by doing some light mocking and gaps in disbelief, with even Seth Rollins questioning her. Morgan made her case by stating that the event took place before she was born. See, I was right. She wasn't born, honey. I just said, honey, maybe it's because you wasn't born yet. Bingo! IWN right again. In case you planned on Googling this year, Liv Morgan was born on June 18th, or should I say June the 8th, 1994, about 2 years after that historic SummerSlam event. Morgan simply laughed and promised, I'm going to go back and watch it tonight. It would be the perfect tribute to watch SummerSlam 1992 as Morgan just had a big win at the pay-per-view. Yeah, yeah, very funny. Very funny. Coming from a woman who didn't even do much in the women's title match. Let's be honest. Shayna Baszler did most of the work in the match, if you ask me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a Shayna Baszler fan. I'm a Liv Morgan fan too, but they have got to work on Liv Morgan's promos and her babyface character gimmick. They got to work on it. Because right now, it's kind of not getting any better. They need to work on it. They need to take her to a performance center or something and give her some good promos that she can cut. So that way, when SmackDown's on air, she can come out and kick off SmackDown with a solid, dope promo. Morgan needs to practice her promos. And her gimmick needs practice too. Her gimmick and her promos need absolute practice. They do. Even though SmackDown Women's Championship looked good on her, she is beautiful, don't get me wrong. She's doing a little bit good in the ring. Not that good. Still need to work on it. Shayna Baszler is great. One of the best NXT Women's Champions you would ever have on the main roster. Shayna Baszler carried the NXT Women's Division. Shayna Baszler had the longest NXT title reign in the NXT Women's Division on the NXT Black and Gold brand when Triple H was still in charge of NXT. Some people still think Shawn Michaels is in charge. Oh my goodness, man. People are still saying Shawn Michaels is in charge. Now I'm willing to bet JD's going to be saying this on one of his OTS extras. Whenever he gives news on Shawn Michaels one day. Dude. People are still believing that shit. Shawn Michaels is not in charge of NXT. He's in charge of NXT UK, not NXT. You fucking geeks in the community. Get that through your system heads. Or get through your fucking brains. Seriously. I don't know what can be more wrong with you. The fact that you haven't watched wrestling all your life, or the fact that you just now started watching wrestling. Jesus Christ, man. Seriously. People are still believing Shawn Michaels is in charge. Clearly he's in charge of NXT UK, not NXT. That's why it's something called use your common sense. Think before you speak. Think before you actually say something. Think before you actually give good news. So, anyways, I wonder how much longer Liv Morgan's going to be able to hold into her SmackDown Women's title. She escaped Shayna Baszler and Carter. Now she has something to watch on her flight back to the U.S. What is your guys' take on this story on Liv Morgan? Let me know in the live chat. So, there is news on Karrion Kross. Now, this one kind of surprised me here. So, Karrion Kross returned to WWE and immediately made an impact by destroying Drew McIntyre. Kross squashed Drew Gulak during his debut on SmackDown last night as well. He's once again set his sight on Roman Reigns. Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux were in attendance for a clash at the Castles. Kross had been trying to instigate Drew McIntyre at one point during the match. He did too much apart from that. Now, Kross had added run into Reigns after he successfully retained the Undisputed Universal Championship against the Scottish Warrior inside the Principality Stadium. He said, and I quote, "I told you, they chose him, and they were wrong. This emperor must fall." Karrion Kross is suspected to challenge Rollins somewhere down the line for sending a warning to the tribal chief that his time on the top of the WWE will eventually come to an end. And it will. Because when Cody Rhodes defeats Roman Reigns to win that WWE Championship, that's when it's going to definitely come to an end. Right there. So I can definitely see Cody Rhodes becoming the next WWE champion when he returns. I think he's going to return doing the Royal Rumble. I don't know. There hasn't been any news on Cody Rhodes as of right now. Not that I know of. Not from what I've seen. So there's some news on Bray Wyatt receiving serious offer from startup pro wrestling company. Let's go over that here. I'm sure I'm probably what is it I want to say? You guys probably are wondering what's going on with Bray Wyatt. Well, I'm going over this for the Bray Wyatt fans, since they are a fan of Bray Wyatt. So it says here that Bray Wyatt's name is still churning in the rumor mill, as every fan has their own theory about what he will do next. All of that is up in the air. Wyatt will continue throwing out cryptic tweets, even cryptic messages, but he does have one offer on the table. Sean Seth reported behind Fightful's paywall that Bray Wyatt received a very serious and interesting offer. It is believed that Freddie Prinze Jr. You gotta admit, that fucking Prinze name sounds like a version, man. Prinze? Come on, man. Who the heck has a name Prinze? Are you serious? More like Printle. Yeah. Was the man behind that big offer? Because of the former WWE writer is starting his own pro wrestling company. So this is what Sean Rossap said, and I quote, listen up, folks. He said, here and I quote, that there is standing offer from a startup wrestling company for Bray Wyatt to join. We haven't heard if he has any interest or has accepted, but we're told that it's a serious offer, though that can mean different things to different people. It was heavily implied that it would be Freddie Prinze Jr.'s eventual wrestling company, though not explicitly stated. Why would it be Freddie Prinze Jr.'s wrestling company? Don't nobody know this fucking prick. Are you serious? Are they even serious with this crap? Come on, man. Who is this Freddie Prinze Jr.? Anybody in the live chat has ever heard of this name? Does this name ring a bell to anybody here in the live chat? Yeah, I didn't think so. This name doesn't ring a bell to me either. So upon returning to WWE, it was revealed that Prinze had planned to have Cross heavily featured in his plans moving forward, but had to adjust as a result. Now, Ringside News has not learned if Bray Wyatt was planned prior to that or not. It was also reported that there was at least some interest in Bray Wyatt from AEW. I thought they were going to say Impact. Oh, man. Or should I say, oh, man. I thought they were going to say Impact. I mean, clearly nobody gives a shit about Impact. I mean, that's one of the worst promotions you would ever send Bray Wyatt to. I mean, come on. Why would Bray Wyatt want to sign with Impact? There's barely anybody on that roster that nobody is interested in watching wrestle on that promotion. I mean, all the character gimmicks on the Impact roster sucks. Some of those wrestlers on the roster wouldn't even be able to make it through WWE tryouts. That's how freaking awful Impact is right now. Without Bobby Lashley, Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and Sting, Impact is fucking terrible without these guys. Even without Impact was still terrible. Even without Impact, it's still terrible. Jesus fucking Christ! Don't tell me I have to mention Jay Lethal. Don't tell me even without Jay Lethal, Impact is still terrible. Yeah, Jay Lethal Impact too. Even without them Motor Machine Guns, Even without Alex Shelley and his buddy, Impact is still terrible. Cut the shit. Cut the shit, geeks in the community that's saying Impact is a good wrestling promotion. No, the fuck it's not. It's a complete fucking failure. Trust me, I've watched Impact my childhood. I know how terrible Impact was. Back when Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy was on there, Impact was great. But now that Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Matt Hardy, and Jay Lethal are not on there, now that Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are not on there, Impact is terrible. Impact is suffering. There's legitimately nobody on there you can say, oh, this guy is a good wrestler. He's going to carry the Impact Men's division. Oh, Marina Kanellis is a great female competitor. She's going to carry the Impact Women's division. There's not one talent you can look at and say, oh, I love this fucking guy, man. I think he's going to be the next Impact champion. Impact sucks. Get it out of your heads, folks. Impact sucks. God, Impact would be even worse with Braun Strowman on it. Oh my goodness. Braun Strowman would decimate Impact. Impact would get an all-time low every week if they had Braun Strowman on. And Triple H is about to get his first L. Isn't that what JD just said on his podcast the other day? Triple H is about to get his first L because he is about to sign Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman is rumored to appear on Monday Night Raw. Oh God, right there. Covered in his first. Woo-hoo! Great. I can't hardly wait. I'm pretty sure my buddy JD can't hardly wait either. This shit sucks. This shit fucking sucks, man. I don't know why the fuck you would sign Braun Strowman and bring him back. Nobody needs Braun Strowman. Nobody wants to see Braun Strowman on television. He's a blithering fucking idiot. And it reminds me of that fucking clown, Bully Ray from Busted Open Radio. And I hope to God we are not getting Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman. Because if we are, I am picking up that remote and I am changing the fucking channel. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to change the fucking channel without complaining. Because I don't want to hear these negative geeks come to chat and be like, well, IWN, if you don't like what you see, why don't you fucking stop watching? Meanwhile, I fucking watch because I fucking care about the young talent that's been getting wasted every single week. Los Lotharios, still in Titus Catering, still not getting used on TV. The only time they were used on TV was when they were in that Maximum Male Models hit roll feud on SmackDown that's currently happening right now. That's the only time Los Lotharios was used on TV. Even when they went against the likes of New Day. Legitimately, the only time they were used on TV, man. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Anyways, back to what I was reading about the news on Bray Wyatt. So, it says here there was also reported that there was some interest in Bray Wyatt from AEW. It was previously reported that the two sides did not speak to each other. But could it come to a dollar amount that was arguable for both parties? Oh, really? Man, that must have sounded bad for Tony Khan. And that must have made Tony Khan even more infuriated. He's even more mad now that he sees Triple H red hot. Triple H fixing the main roster, fixing the women's division. Triple H is taking over, man. For fuck's sake, he's head of creative and talent relations, man. He's going to go down as one of the best chairmen of WWE ever. That's ever took it over WWE. Mr. Man, his role as chairman was a complete fail from the get-go. In my opinion, years ago, Vince McMahon being chairman was going to be a complete letdown from the beginning, and it was. I mean, the Attitude Era was great, but we didn't need Vince as chairman in the Attitude Era. Hell no. Come on, man. Seriously. You know how long Vince McMahon's been chairman of WWE? 50-something years, man. Jesus Christ. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad Triple H is taking over. 53 years he's been chairman, man. At least. That's how many years he's been chairman. If I'm right, I might be wrong. So it was made very clear that Impact, that Bray Wyatt had no interest of joining Impact. I mean, I don't fucking blame him. Impact is one of the worst promotions in professional wrestling and world wrestling entertainment. Impact is terrible. Do not watch Impact. Everybody's in the live chat. Do not watch Impact. Impact is so horrendous. Despicable garbage. Despicable garbage is Impact. I bet Baron Corbin, even Baron Corbin wouldn't have no interest going to Impact, even though he called JD a neckbeard. You want to know who I called Corbin? A blue neckbeard, because that's what he is, a blue neckbeard. Sam Roberts is a fucking orange neckbeard. Ryan Satin is a SpongeBob yellow neckbeard. That's probably what he does on his podcast every week. Shitting on JD, acting like fucking retarded SpongeBob on Nickelodeon. Jesus fucking Christ. Ryan Satin sounds like a fucking goddamn 6-year-old on his podcast, man. Seriously. Like, dude, stop running your podcast. Nobody cares. Goodbye. That's enough. You blocked me on Twitter. Blocked me on Twitter right before my suspension, man. I didn't even give a shit. Good. I was glad Ryan Satin blocked me on Twitter all those years. I don't give a shit about him or his podcast. Fuck Ryan Satin, man. Seriously. JD wasn't the only one that had problem with Ryan Satin. I did too. I had an issue with I took issue with Ryan Satin too. I had an issue with him as well. I didn't like what he was saying on his podcast. I didn't like what he was saying about wrestling, period, about the good things about Vince McMahon. There's no good thing about Vince McMahon. There's definitely, damn sure no good thing about Bruce Pritchard. My God. Can you believe Bruce Pritchard is still in the WWE? He still hasn't got fired yet? He should have been got fired. And he is still in the company. My God, how terrible does that fucking sound? Really? I think it's 100% clear that eventually Bruce is going to get let go. And that's going to lead to Kevin Dunn's exit in the company. Which I hope to God happens sooner rather than later. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, it's not Kevin Dunn's fault that Vince McMahon and Bruce ran WWE and completely ruined guys like the Biker Raiders, Nikki Trash, and all these various young talents that they absolutely ruined and made a gimmick changes on. Jesus fucking Christ, man. They really got to change Baron Corbin's gimmick. His fucking gimmick is so garbage. It is awful. Awful, awful, awful. They need to change his gimmick. With JBL back, I believe JBL can help Baron Corbin get him back to his Lone Wolf character. Because that's where Baron Corbin needs to be. I think this storyline is going to lead to JBL convincing Corbin to get him back to his Lone Wolf days. Get him back to his days as the Lone Wolf. You know, back to the days when he was the United States champion. Corbin should be chasing championships, should he? That could be possible. Stone Cold 316, you still are the moderator. What are you talking about? I just added you as moderator the other day. Are you okay? Have you been drinking beer? But it was made clear that Bray Wyatt had no interest in joining Impact. I can see why JD says Impact, like how he says it, because Impact is fucking terrible. Impact Wrestling. So it was also reported in the past that Impact. Jesus fucking Christ. I think I better stop saying it before I end up saying it 1,000 times and people start leaving the chat. So Impact Wrestling made a very strong play to bring him back. Or should I say bring him aboard. That obviously didn't happen. It didn't need to happen. It took 2 seconds for Bray Wyatt to watch Impact and realize how fucking terrible their creative is. That's all he needed to know to say, no, I'm not going to Impact. Impact is trash. My creative experience, my creative work, my own creative gimmick would be better off in the WWE than Impact. Let's be honest, Impact would have Bray Wyatt in catering faster than a cheetah can fucking run. Do you seriously think Impact would use Bray Wyatt on television? My answer is hell to the no. Excuse my language. But we'll have to see what the future holds for Bray Wyatt. Now, his former Wyatt family brother, Braun Strowman, is expected back very soon. So that might just convince Wyatt to give Triple H's WWE a try. I hope to God Braun Strowman doesn't reunite with Bray Wyatt. We need Bray Wyatt as a solo act. I don't want to see Bray Wyatt with Strowman. I feel like Strowman is going to bring Bray Wyatt down. It's going to distract Bray Wyatt and mess him up in some way. I really feel like Bray Wyatt as a solo act should happen. I want to see The Fiend by himself, not with Braun Strowman. No. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't. That would be absolutely terrible, man. I don't want to see that shit. Now, as this gesture, Triple H isn't giving out any real clues about his thoughts on the matter. Of course he's not. He's fucking smart. He knows exactly what he is doing. If he did that, Tony Khan would have checked it out and took note of that. And probably would have applied it to AEW. Probably would have copied Triple H in a way. Who knows? Some wrestling promotions used to copy other wrestling promotions. That's not right. Run your own wrestling promotion. Don't copy other wrestling promotions. Come on, man. Now that Braun Strowman is back, I guess Control Your Narrative is going to be shutting down before you know it. Eventually. So, guys, what is your take on this Bray Wyatt story? Let me know in the live chat, man. So that's all the news I got. If you guys enjoyed my WWE Clash of the Castles review, hit that thumbs up. Hit the like button. Let's get 12 likes in here, man, like I said. Make sure you share this stream to your friends. Donate this, not donate, but share the stream to your Facebook friends, Instagram friends, whoever you want to share this Clash of the Castles review to, man. It was an honor for me to be live with you guys reviewing the Clash of the Castles. Now, before I get out of here, I got one more thing to say, and that is that my 400 subscribers, Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, live stream watch along celebration will be live at 10 o'clock. I may just go live with it at 9:30. So I'm actually going to be live with it a little bit early. So to those of you that are Dragon Ball fans that are subscribed to my channel, you better be here, man. This is going to be the only time I show the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Hell, I may just even schedule another one. If they suspend my during stream, I'm going to schedule another one. I'm going to schedule one last one. This time, it's not going to be shown. Now, I'm kind of tired. I need to kind of rest a little bit, but I'm getting out of here, folks. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed your time in the live chat with me, man. And I hope you enjoyed your time in the live chat with me for the Clash of the Castles watch along. I will see you guys in the live chat for the 400 subscribers Dragon Ball Super Brawling movie celebration live stream watch along. We're going to celebrate the fact that I passed 400 subscribers. I am fucking happy as a fucking bug right now. And I mean more happy as a bug that I went to the tobacco store and got my cigars. Because now I can go outside and smoke cigars now at the end of the screen. So, I will see you guys in the live chat for the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Watch along. Peace. Stay safe always. I will be back again at 10 o'clock or 9:30 p.m. The stream will be live. The watch along will be live early at 9:30 p.m. And the stream is going to start either at 9:50 p.m. or 10 o'clock. I may just have it start at 10 o'clock p.m. So, I hope you all have a great rest of your Labor Day weekend. Labor Day is Monday. I have to work on Labor Day, unfortunately. So the AW Dark Elevation Watch Along will be on Tuesdays, like it's always is, every Tuesday afternoon. So make sure you're in the live chat for that. Make sure you're in the live chat for my AW Dark Watch Along as well as my Dynamite review. That'll be Wednesday night. And my SmackDown Rampage review, that will be next Saturday afternoon. All right. Folks, like I said, have a good rest of your Labor Day weekend. I will see you guys in the live chat for the Dragon Ball Super Broly watch along. We're gonna celebrate because I made it to 400 thanks to you guys. We're going to celebrate. We're going to have some fucking fun. It's going to be the last live stream of the night. And this one's going to be great. You're going to get to see Fury Brawly, Super Saiyan Brawly, and full power Super Saiyan Brawly. And you're going to get to see Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta and Goku, and Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta. And even Golden Frieza. As well as Super Saiyan Blue, Gogeta. Now, stay safe always. I will see you guys in the live chat for that watch on. Peace.